want Sundays for the man. Got Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man. Got Sundays for the man. We're talking Sundays for the man. Got Sundays for the man. On Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man. You got Sundays for the man. Roxbury softball. Got Sundays for the man. On Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man. You got Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man.
Woo! And that was your boy Double A on the woo, because Sean Beggs is not with us once again on a Wednesday night, but this is a Sundays for the Men podcast, coming to you live from the Mayor's Committee on a Wednesday, June 27th, if my memory serves me correctly. We are back to talk Roxbury softball, now the #1 rated podcast in Roxbury history. So just a little tidbit of historical context for everyone out there listening. To my left, and working our way around the table, who do you got tonight? Well, a couple new faces that we'll get to, but first we have Zachary Morano of the latest winners of Roxbury, the Phlegm.
Yo.
We have from the Bockers, Junior.
Hello.
We have also from the Bockers, Dr. Terrence Crossan.
Thank you very much, Ricky. Hello, everyone.
We have former Mayor of Roxbury, Anthony Alaco.
Hello.
And we have former Mayor Hopeful, William Trotter.
Yo.
I want to welcome everyone on this beautiful Wednesday. I want to thank Zack and Junior and Terrence for being with us. We just had yes, please. A lovely dinner at Jameson's, 2-for-1 burgers. And, before we get into the softball milieu, Terrence, I know that you had a message for our previous guest, Mr. Castaway. You wanted to chime in on the catch-up debate.
Yes, I would love to. Speaking from a place of a new doctor, graduating an Ivy League degree, I say that...
Which school?
Columbia University.
I went to Cornell.
Very good. That's
Ever heard of it?
That's also an Ivy League university.
I didn't go to Cornell. But go on.
But ketchup is clearly not a poor man's condiment and is liked by every smart person ever.
At least all the ones that you know.
Right.
Like
Which is a lot of them.
Ketchup is a big deal on like the Columbia campus.
Naturally, yeah. All Ivy Leagues.
I feel like it's just a big deal everywhere. I feel like Joe's he swung and missed at that one.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't
it was an
understand
aggressive
it.
take.
It's just delicious on so many things, not just fries. So thank you for chiming in. You have that from an Ivy League source, Mr. Castaway, that you are wrong about the ketchup.
I agree. I think he's wrong.
And
I love ketchup.
No, he's wrong. I mean, I love Pinot, but he's wrong.
He's
on
wrong.
this one.
Really
It's
nice
okay.
guy.
Great guy.
Quality guy. Quality haircut.
Wrong guy.
Poor take on ketchup.
Very poor take on ketchup.
And Brennan and Carr.
Well, he likes Brennan and Carr, but to compare, I don't want to get into that one either. That's
The
tough.
beef speaks for itself.
Although Junior had told us at Jameson's that he'd never been to Roll and Roaster,
Have never been to Rolling Roaster.
so you can't even compare. But you've been to
Nope.
Brennan and Carr, and
Yes. I love Brendan Carr.
well,
Yeah. Great beef.
Because you're a smart guy.
excellent beef.
Great beef.
I'm not even hating on the beef for Roll and Roaster. I just think that it's not as good as Brennan and Carr, and it's not even close. Sorry. Okay. So we attempted to do a podcast on Sunday, and we did. So Billy, that's in the archives, yes?
No, that's gone forever.
All right, so it's no longer a part of our archives. Well, I'll give you two reasons. First one is go ahead.
Kevin!
Right, and the second one is Monahan. So it was funny depending on who you ask, but
I laughed.
certain things that you probably just shouldn't put out there on the internet. It was no surprise, actually. That's the problem. That's no surprise whatsoever. Anyway, we tried the Sunday thing because people were saying, well, the Sunday ones are rowdy. Well, it got a little too rowdy. So here we are on a Wednesday after another delicious meal at Jameson's in Rockaway. So let's just backtrack slightly. I'm not going to go too far back, although I feel bad for the Shockers, who were with us on Sunday talking about their first ever victory, which they got over the Bush Leaguers, right? Yeah, 10-9 over the Bush Leaguers. So, again, hats off to the Shockers. And I want to thank Brian Feimer and Steve Edmonds and Brandon for joining us, even though their voices won't be heard on that particular episode that Billy deleted for obvious reasons. But the Shockers, every single team in the league now has at least one win, thanks to what happened on Monday, which we'll get into in just a few minutes. But let's just quickly go through Sunday's results. The 10 a.m. game, we had the Bockers and the Phlegm. And it was the Bockers moving to a 5-2 record overall, defeating the Phlegm 12-4, who at that point had fallen to 0-4. So let me bring in our two Bockers here. We have Junior and we have Terrence.
Yes.
And so far, everything has been awesome for the Bockers. And actually, at dinner, Terrence, you told us that Junior predicted the Bockers' exact record up until this date at exactly 5-2.
Every single game, correctly. Every win. that we've
Every
had.
single game.
Not the scores, though.
Close.
Close.
Fairly close.
Our runs.
Yeah.
Most of our runs. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Well,
annoying.
fuck you. So we just have a couple questions while we have the Bockers here. Fuck off! I mean, obviously, a very hot start.
Everything is awesome.
It's my favorite soundbite in the world.
Keep going.
So yeah, you guys are off to a hot start. 5-2. Are you surprised at all?
No. I am not surprised.
Why not?
I predicted it. I thought that we were a competitive team, and I thought that as long as everybody does the job and people show up, our best guys show up, we'll win. That's how I felt. I know that there's some games we won't win, but that's softball.
Terrence, anything to add?
I did not predict our 5-2 start, so I'm a little bit surprised. At the start of the season, At the start of the season, I had heard some things about Mike Nouse being present more for the Castaways, so I initially chalked that up as a loss for the Bockers.
By the way, that's Junior on the on the sticks there with the soundboard. So if anyone's annoyed by it, it's him.
Yeah. I also had our Bush Leaguer win chalked up as a loss.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the Bush Leaguers shortly.
I predict them to beat the Bush Leaguers on the podcast.
I believe you did.
I did.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, but I also predicted that we'd beat them, so I was wrong about that one.
Which didn't happen.
It did not.
So in your guys' minds, what is the goal for this season for the Bockers?
I'll let Terrence go first.
5-2 start now. Poor Sharks so far, not doing too hot. Third place is not out of reach.
Yes.
I think fourth place is the goal for me right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Junior?
I had us at a 10-6 record, third seed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like it.
From the beginning of the
Yeah.
season, so.
I
like
like
the
it
confidence.
too. I like
Yeah.
it too.
I mean, you're a bitch, but whatever. Okay.
It's possible.
What are the chances that Junior
Yeah.
and Terrence, yourself, are still Bockers next season? Easy. You can't just have a coughing fit now when the tough questions come out.
That's a tough question. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say.
Yeah, even just by saying that, I'm sure that the Bockers will hear this and be like, "Wow."
It's not definite.
Like, what if Mango hears this? Or, just,
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
for you not saying
listener.
yes, we'll be Bockers next season. That's
Wow.
got to be a tough pill to swallow for the Bockers, even that you're considering it.
Well, I said this from the beginning. I'll go where my friend goes. So he's the decision maker
So
right now.
if they leave, it's all Terrence's fault, is what he's saying.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, you've pawned it all off on
You've
him.
thrown it your friend under the bus.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's the way we like it
So-
down here.
At the very
If
least,
you had to put a number on it, what would you say?
Not if you have to put a number on it right now.
Like
Well, I can't.
percentage-wise.
I'm not.
What are the
I'm not.
chan-
This
what are
is
the
not-
chances,
this
Terrence?
is- This is
50-50, 60-40,
60-40.
60-40, stay or go.
60-40 stay.
Whoa!
All right. That's
Oh God.
wow.
All right, fair enough. I like that.
At the very least, I'm interested in a decision episode of the podcast.
And I'm interested in coordinating that.
yeah.
But we have to have video and the hats, like we said.
Yes.
40 is a large number.
60-40.
I like
Okay.
that.
And one more question before we move on. What has been the biggest surprise for your team this year, and why do you think that?
That Randy didn't lose any teeth.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Riding into the fence.
Absolutely.
I figured that's where you were going to go with that.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
But he popped up
He
like
Popped
nothing
right up
happened.
like nothing. Yeah,
It's amazing.
exactly.
He looked concussed.
I had the best view. It was wild.
No, you didn't.
No,
We
you
did.
didn't.
I was
On the bleachers, it was coming right
fair.
at us.
Good point.
Terrence, you also told him that he had space
did have
between
room.
the fence and
He did for a while,
had
and then he
room,
didn't.
And then he dove into the
He
fence.
took a bad angle at the ball. He had room.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
But you
I'm
can't
very
say bad
surprised.
angle at a play like that.
No,
that's
but
He dove into the fence. That
He
was
did a
dumb.
Willie Mays.
Yeah.
Surprised he did not get injured by the way the fence looked and by how hard he
The
hit it.
fence got
Broke the
injured.
fence.
Yeah, the fence was injured.
But
Oh, I forgot Billy was here.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
I was hoping he left, but
So that's Junior and Terrence. They're sticking with us for the entire episode. We just wanted to talk a little Bockers as they're off to a very hot start, winning their game last Sunday over the Phlegm 12-4. 11:30. The Bockers are at it again. Double dip against the Castaways, and wouldn't you know it, The White Russians were flowing because the Bockers swept their doubleheader, beating the Castaways 8-4. Anthony, how do you feel about it, manager of the Castaways?
Not great. It was kind of a big game for us. Obviously, we went into that game looking to get another win and just kind of separate ourselves from the pack. And we did not play well. Hats off to the Bockers. They were the better team that day. They hit the ball well. We didn't really hit after the first inning. Everything is awesome for the Bockers right now.
So far.
But yeah, I was not happy with the result. But obviously, it's a long season,
Yeah.
So we'll get them again, and hopefully the outcome's better for us next time.
Yeah, hopefully you lose.
Yeah, we'll probably lose. But
I had a splitting. On my,
I had a splitting too. I had us winning the first one and losing the second one. But
There's still time.
there's still time.
Still a lot of time. Young season.
Yes.
But I have been impressed with the Bockers so far.
Yeah. How could you not be?
They're hitting the ball. They're singling everyone to death. They're scoring runs.
They're such dicks.
And Timmy Hannon's been pitching well.
Yes.
Pitching very well.
Which is, I think, is the big story of their season so
Yep.
far. No one's hats off to Timmy Hannon. He's been pitching well for them.
And hitting well.
And hitting well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pitching, and he's had a lot of pitchers up here filled with milk and alcohol.
Oh, yes.
It's time for a beer instead of that. Let's take a week off from the White Russians, Bockers. Anyway.
I agree. I'm tired of making them, to be honest.
No, nobody wants to do that.
They're a pain in the ass.
So the 1 o'clock game last Sunday was the Bush Leaguers and the Shockers. I don't know why I thought that happened the night before, which is why I brought it up in the beginning of the show. But yes, the Shockers shocked the world that day for the first time, coming back to beat the Bush Leaguers 10-9. Surprised?
I'm surprised by the Shockers winning, and B, how bad of a start the Bush Leaguers are
Yes.
off to.
Very, very difficult.
1-4
for
to
the Bush
start the
Leaguers.
season, and you know what? I'll give it to the Shockers. They've been in almost every game so far to start the season. They've been a competitive
Yeah, they
team.
should have beat us,
They
and they
should've-
should have beat the Sharks.
Yeah.
They should have 3 wins.
They should have 3 wins, and they're playing well.
I will say in the Bush Leaguers' defense, Kyle was not there on Sunday, which, like Joe Pino, was Mr. Castaway said last week, was that he's a difference maker for the Bush Leaguers.
Yeah, but
He is.
you still got to field your team. You play the games, and this is what happens. I mean, everyone's missing guys all the time.
Yeah.
Let's not make excuses, but let's make excuses. But let's not make excuses.
But it is kind of surprising that the Bush Leaguers are off to such a cold start. And
Yeah.
I'm also surprised that the Shockers have been as competitive as they've been to start the season.
And speaking of that, they're missing guys. Patty Hot Sauce isn't here. Danny Ryan's not here, so don't give me excuses.
Danny Ryan's probably their best player, and he hasn't been here all year.
You win with a team that's on the field, you lose with them, and that's it, Billy.
So, and also Steve Edmonds has been pitching pretty well for them to start the season.
Well, he's out there every day throwing to nobody, so he's really putting in the work.
yeah.
That's
Steve is putting the work in.
he's trying to master his craft.
Good for him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, he's around the plate. He's throwing strikes.
We'll give them that.
What more can you ask for? Hats off to you, Steve. Hats off to the Shockers. First ever team win. And then we could just briefly touch on the 2:30 game. The Goons Bombers. The Goons had 2 hits the entire game, lost 6-0. And good job, Mike Val.
You predicted a 6-0 win.
Yeah, but
That's-
in our favor.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
I also predicted probably that we would have more than 2 hits, but I was talking shit to Mike Val the night before, and then nobody got a hit.
Who had the 2
including myself.
hits for you guys?
I don't know. I forgot. Oh, Keith Carlson hit 1, but then on the second hit, he actually didn't run to third right away, and then fell, and then got thrown out going to third. So, yeah.
You didn't have a hit that game?
Keith giveth, Keith take it away. I was 0 for 3, unfortunately. My first 0 for the year.
Wow.
So I came crashing back to earth.
He's human. Ricky
I'm a
is
human being.
Wow.
I don't know. God knows what I'm batting now. My batting average must have plummeted down to like the 600s. So, we all have our days, and we'll try and pick up back up. When do I play again? When do we play? Sunday, maybe. I don't know.
I
Someone.
thought you guys would have lost by more than 6, so that's actually...
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like the Bombers only put up 6 runs, but we only got 2 hits.
Well, Timmy was also so drunk he couldn't play the game. So.
That's true, but he did this. He was chirping though, so he did his job in some way. And my hat goes off to Mike Val. He pitched a good game, good enough to only give up 2 hits. So fuck him. And
He should be on the Goons.
he should be a goon. And next year, he's coming home.
You think so?
Oh, I'm gonna bother him to come home. Mike, just come home. What are you doing?
Compelling argument.
He should come pitch for you guys.
He should just come pitch for us. He should just come home.
I agree.
Okay, that's my argument to Mike Val. If he doesn't want to come home, fuck him. But if he does, I'm all in.
You're welcome him back.
oh God. And then we move to Monday night's games. 2 nights ago, and we're just about ready to bring in Zack for an extended period of time here. But that's the 9:30 game. So let's talk 8 o'clock first. Shockers, Castaways, and for a while, Billy, as you showed up in your salmon shirt straight from work and didn't actually play in this game.
It was red and white.
It was.
It was 7.
I don't get it. What's the circus?
The shirt.
It wasn't red and white. It was pink.
It was red and white.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Red mixed with white is pink.
It was pink.
It was a pink shirt. First of all,
I'd say salmon, like he said.
you didn't let me
Not pink.
finish.
It's a red and white checkered with very small checkers.
You looked great.
Oh, thank you.
Fuck you. First of all, show me that shirt again. I do not believe for a second that was a red and white checkered shirt. My ass.
It was not a red shirt.
I might have brought
How
it to the
microscopic are the checkers
This
that
is
the
a red
shirt
shirt.
just looks pink?
That shirt was
about
not
the
this
size of
color.
your cup.
That's a red and white shirt.
Oh, well,
Red and white.
in that case, let's move on. The Shockers were looking good in this game, too, for a while. And then, things happened. And the
Bats came
Castaways had their inning there.
Fifth inning.
Did you put up 8 in the 5th?
Yeah.
At that point, was it 4-0 or 1-0? Like what?
No, it was 2-0.
2-0 for more than half the
Oh
game.
yeah, we were getting a little nervous.
And it was a little precarious for the Castaways, but their bats came alive in the 5th.
Yeah, we put up an 8 spot in the 5th, and then we shut them down. Got the win, and that was Mike Now's debut.
Mike Now's debut in full Yike regalia.
full Reich regalia.
Yeah.
and he pitched a gem.
He did pitch a gem.
And but again, they were right in the mix. They could have won that game too.
Yep.
They just didn't. They didn't hit that night. So, and we got lucky. We put together a good inning, and we found a way.
And then it got precarious in the 7th for you also. You had
Oh, yeah.
Doyle and O'Driscoll colliding, and then a
Yeah.
couple hits, and then I think a drop fly ball by Eddie Warren.
booted a fly ball like he always does when the game's on the line.
But you
I love
yeah.
you, Eddie, but you always
seen that episode before.
Yeah, you like to run in on balls and scare me like that. But
You got the job done.
hey, a win's a win.
Wins a win. The
They're not all gonna-
Castaways
they're
are
not all gonna be pretty.
3-2.
But
The Shockers are 1-5.
I think the story right now for us is that our bats are still a little quiet. We need to start hitting more consistently. We had a big inning in the last game, but I'd like to see more like consistent hitting from the team.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
But we'll get there. It's still early, still early.
It's early.
And then to the story of the week. As most people had gone home after that game, myself included, they did not stick around to watch the Phlegm Bush Leaguers, and you should have, because the Phlegm coming up with a big win against the Bush Leaguers, pushing them further down. The Bush Leaguers fall to 1-4, and the Phlegm improve to 1-4. So we have from the Phlegm with us, of course, our good buddy Zack Morano, and I'm going to come to him. Zack, you played that entire game, yes?
Correct.
So what do you attribute that win to over the Bush Leaguers? What was the key factor?
I think the key was there was a couple keys. Murphy was chucking. He's throwing a lot of good pitches. He started off a little slow. They were swinging at a couple bad ones. But third baseman, Kolb, played really good. Phil Carr, second. Very nice.
I've never heard of either of those people.
Why don't you come down and watch a game one night and you'll find out who these people are, okay? And then we were just hitting and let's see. Timmy Farmer wasn't really finding the strike zone. We were taking walks. And
So you said you were up in that game pretty much the whole time, right? 7.
yes, yeah. No, I think they jumped out to an early lead, and then they
was
jumped out to us 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
And then we fired back. We tied the game, and then we took the lead, and then we never looked back.
Excellent.
So
Excellent. A 7-5 final in that one with the Phlegm defeating the Bush Leaguers. Zack, what's the Phlegm's goal this year as a team?
listen, we're just gonna go out and wing it and have fun out there. All right.
I thought for sure. I thought he was going to say to sweep the Goons.
Well, that wouldn't hurt. We like
Because
to beat
look,
the
a
Castaways,
lot of shit talking started to take place even that night after that game was over in our group chats.
Yeah.
It was an immediate fire by your boy Justin Sheridan saying that you were going to sweep the Goons and that it was a fact. So, talk to me a little bit about that.
I don't know.
Do you
Could
think
be a
that's
fact.
something that
We'll
could
find out. 100%.
Well, I'll tell you, if the Goons get 2 hits a game, then yes, it could happen.
Listen, if we have all the right keys show up, our trouble is having everybody show up, and if we have all the right keys show up, anything's possible. I mean, Bush Leaguers, I think on paper, are a better team than the Goons, and look what happened to them.
Yes, they are.
Well, they beat us, so that's their only. Bush Leaguers only win against the Goons, by the way.
How does that make you feel?
I feel great. Really, really magical stuff.
All I gotta say with the Bush League is you guys swinging a lot of bad pitches. I was catching a lot of bad pitches. You might want to think about that.
Zachary, who's been your best player so far this season and why?
Woo! I mean, that would depends which phlegm you ask, but I think our acquisition of Phil Carr has been absolutely amazing. I think he's the best player on our damn team.
Phil Carr
Phil
is.
Carr, the All-Star. You don't know him? Killer Phil.
No, that doesn't help me at all. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
that made it worse.
I call him Big City Phil.
Big City
But,
Phil.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Big City.
He's played a good second base for them, and he's got a couple hits.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
got a couple hits. He can hit pretty good.
So in your mind, how many more wins are the Phlegm capable of this season and why?
Tough questions.
Capable. It's pretty tough. All right, so
Tune his own
we're
horn.
gonna win 2 against the Goons.
Shit.
Because they don't have AJ pitching. So
All right, now AJ's getting the fucking nod against you guys.
That's 3
and
wins.
then I think we'd like to beat the Castaways once. Just stick it to them a little bit.
Hey, I feel you.
Stick it to them on Neosis.
So 4 wins. That's the
4
number.
wins, yeah, that'd be nice.
If your math is correct, it's 4.
I think 2
All right,
plus
fine.
2.
I mean,
Fair
at
enough.
the rate we're going, we're
2
gonna have
against the
more
Goons.
wins than the Bush Leaguers.
Fucking smack you. Anyway, I feel like I'll say it first. I owe the Phlegm an apology as well as
I do
Anthony
too.
does, and I think Trotter might also. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think.
We all predicted the Phlegm would go 0-16, and
we were wrong.
we were wrong. And hats off to the Phlegm and to
Couple
and
people
to,
were
and,
wrong.
to, and to Bauman for kind of
Compiling a good
the
team.
ship together, and along with Justin and all those guys that stuck around. But
Yeah, they added some good pieces. Kolb's a good player. Phil Carr's a good player. Skinnell's a good player.
yeah, they're great. But they're going to lose 2 to the Goons.
You never know. They could beat us 1 game too. I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows?
I think we're going to beat them
It
twice.
all depends who shows up to the game.
Exactly. It's all it comes down to.
I don't give a shit who shows up. We'll beat you twice.
But we were all wrong, and
Yeah, we were wrong.
we're man
And,
enough to admit we're wrong. And
Hats off to the Phlegm on that
All right.
W.
Well, was it time to bring up that Double A owes me $100?
I do.
You just did.
But
I'll
we
collect at the end of the season.
We also did bet that you'd have to beat us twice. Also, that was another bet we made.
That was
Oh
that-
shit! Then I
what
make
was
a
that
couple.
bet?
I
That
made
was
a
a
couple
bet.
bets with you too.
There was a bet too we made that if we split, I owe you $100. We beat you twice. You owe me $100. So it could be double or
Okay,
nothing.
so we're gonna double down on
We're
it.
gonna
then.
no, we're not double. We already did double down
could
on
be-
it.
okay,
so
got it.
if you beat us once, I owe you $200.
Woo, baby.
But if we beat you twice,
All right.
Some sweet action.
We're-
Everybody better show up those fucking games. I swear to God.
there's hey, you,
money on the
you
line.
beat me. It's a $200 hit. It's nice.
I'll throw it all in
Speaking
the
of-
bar. Everyone can drink off that.
Speaking of $100 hits, I won a cool 115 off Sean Baggs' weight on Sunday. That was a magical thing that happened.
What was
That
the
was
number?
a good time.
So for those of you who were not here on Sunday, after the 2:30 game, I got a phone call from my brother Alex saying you need to tell AJ and Sean Baggs to come to the Mayor's, and he wouldn't tell me why. I walk up, and I tell them, hey, you got to go to the Mayor's. They want you. I walk up, and there's just a crowd of people screaming around a scale. It became clear very quickly what was happening. So AJ shows up, they weigh him in, but everyone put up $5 and bet what is he going to weigh. I forget what he weighed. It was like 325 or something?
I think it was like 325. Yes.
So I'm pretty sure Dan O'Shea won $75.
No, it was 335. Dan O'Shea guessed 334.
Okay, so he was off by a pound. Dan O'Shea wins 75. Then Baggs rolls up. Joe Pino, Mr. Castaway, is taking bets. This was like a gambling
It was like a
hall.
cockfight. It was like
People
a
are
literally an
throwing
underground
$5.
cockfight.
I want this number. So I go 234. So Baggs gets, shirt off, everything off. He's on the scale.
Everything off?
Not everything, not quite everything. Although the ladies did scatter, like women scatter like cockroaches. But
Do you blame them?
no. So Alex covers the scale with the thing, so you can't see right away. He's on the scale. He moves it. 234. I hit it on the button.
That's impressive.
$115
Yeah.
to bet 5 to win 115.
That's a nice hit.
This was hilarious out there. I hope they do it more.
That's great.
So much fun.
Every week they should have somebody different get on the scale.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we should all bet on it. I think that'd be
Oh
hilarious.
my God, how much fun! It's so stupid.
I'll even do it. I'll volunteer myself.
And the
I don't
worst you
care.
do is lose $5, but you create a lifelong memory. The best you do is you win 115 or you bet 5. It's fantastic. So I had a pretty good day on that Sunday, even though the Goons only got 2 hits and we lost 6-0. So let's talk now about tonight's games, if they happen. I mean, the weather's looking better now, boys, than it was when we were driving back from Jameson's.
I don't know. I just seen a flock of birds just get the fuck out of here.
So what the fuck does that mean?
It means rain might be coming.
Or they just don't want to hang out the field anymore.
Zack the weatherman.
Hey,
Hey, birds know.
birds know.
Birds know.
It's instinct.
It is.
So if there are games tonight, our 8 o'clock game will be the Bush Leaguers and the Bombers. And again, this is 2 teams trending in different directions. The Bush Leaguers in desperate need of a win. The Bombers looking to go 6-0. Trotter, who do you like tonight?
Bombers.
8 o'clock game.
Bombers, bombers, bombers.
No elaboration. Terrence, who do you like tonight?
Bombers.
Zachary?
I'm going to go with the Bombers, 6-1. If Kyle Schreiner shows up, he's going Yahtzee. That's all they're getting.
I'd like to bring in Harry Nungesser real quick. Harry, thanks for joining us on Sundays for the Men. Harry, who do you like tonight?
You know this is Wednesday, right? Not Sunday?
Welcome to Wednesdays for the Men. Who do you like tonight? Bombers, Bush Leaguers.
Obviously, I'm about to go with the Bombers.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, shocker.
No, not the Shockers.
No. Who else is playing tonight?
We're going to have in the second game Flem Bockers. Flem coming in hot off a
Let's go
win.
Flem. Let's go Flem. Eat up left field all night. Nah, Junior's going to do it for Brian tonight. We're all good.
Terrence, you're not playing tonight.
I'm not playing tonight.
How long can we expect you to be out?
I'll be playing next game.
That's like 2 weeks away, yes?
It is 2 weeks away. That's a good for me that it's 2
So
weeks.
as like a physical therapist, can you give yourself physical therapy?
I can, to a point.
Okay.
I've been doing some rehab exercises.
Okay, that's nice.
I also cupped my leg.
Cupped
if
your-
anyone's interested in cupping,
Oh, you did cupping.
I did cupping.
That's a thing you can do?
I can do that.
Now, do you recommend it?
I would recommend it.
But do you
Feels
like
great.
I mean, he did it, so obviously he would
I did it to
recommend
my own
Fuck
leg.
off, Trotter. I'll fucking kill you.
What is cupping?
The cup, like all the athletes did, where they had the red dots all over them, and it creates blood flow to the thing. Harry,
It's in the game.
Harry, the soundboard works. It's fine.
I hit one thing.
You hit 3 things. The same button
His
twice.
hands are big. He didn't mean he only meant to hit one.
So while Terrence is on the shelf, he's offering free cupping to the residents of Roxbury, especially if you're in the league.
Where do you cup, by the way?
the balls.
I cupped my groin.
He did.
That's pretty close to the balls.
Yeah.
He did.
Trotter knows about cupping balls very much. Anthony,
Turn off the soundboard?
who do you like tonight?
Yes,
I'm sure it was
had a
pretty
perfect
unanimous that the Bombers over the Bush Leaguers tonight was a done deal for all of us. You got a score prediction? What's the spread?
I'd say Bombers minus 7.5.
And who do you like in the second game? Flem-Bockers.
I like the Bockers.
Spread?
Yeah, he
I feel like
does.
the Flem are going to have a letdown after their big win the other night.
Even minus Dr. Crossan?
Even minus Dr. Cross.
Please turn the car if needed.
Well, Zach already said the Flem are missing a bunch of
Lineup's
guys.
not that good tonight.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going with that.
You chucking tonight, Zach?
I am not.
Zach pitched good against us the first game.
It was good the other night.
Bush Leaguers the other night, baby. Come on.
All right, so let's fast forward to Friday night here real quick and preview those games. Again, Bush Leaguers busy week, playing the 8 o'clock game Friday against the Sharks. Bush Leaguers at 1-4, Sharks at 2-3, so a pivotal game for both teams. Junior, I'm going to come to you. Get off the soundboard for a second. Who do you like in that game?
The Sharks.
Zachary? Sharks, Bush Leaguers, Friday night, 8 o'clock.
Sharks.
Sharks. Anthony?
I'm going Bush Leaguers. They have to get a win.
Something's gotta give.
Something's got to give. I think they're going to put it together Friday night under the lights and get a win.
Harry? You're here with us.
I mean, I kind of want the Bush Leaguers, but the Sharks are going to win.
Billy?
I'm going with the Sharks. I think they're both in a tight spot, though. They're both
Very-
itching for a win.
Very precarious.
Very precarious.
Terrence?
I also would prefer the Bush Leaguers to win, but I believe the Sharks will come through.
I'm going to go Sharks also, so you're on your own
I'm
there.
riding solo, but I also rode solo with the Bockers against
That's fine.
against the Bush Leaguers the other day.
I think that'll be a good game, actually, but I see the Shark coming out on top. And then Friday night, game of the week, if there ever was one, 9:30, Corp, undefeated. And if all goes to plan for the Bombers tonight, they too will also be undefeated going into Friday. And you have our two best teams so far slugging it out. And in that game, someone may get their first loss, unless the Bombers, something goes wrong tonight. So Corp Bombers, Anthony, I'm coming to you first. Who do you got Friday and why in the game of the week? So far, maybe the game of the year.
I feel like you can't pick against the Bombers right now. They're on a tear, and I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think the Bombers. It's going to come down to pitching, and I think Walter has the advantage. So I'm picking the Bombers to win in a
Billy.
close game.
I'm going Corp. They've been hot.
Wow.
They are handsome men.
They are very handsome men.
Firefighters.
All right, so we got one for the Bombers, one for the Corp. Zachary.
Corp.
Terrence.
Bombers.
Junior.
Bombers.
I think I'm going to go Bombers.
Yeah.
And again, for partly from what Anthony said, very hot start. it's tough to bet against them right now the way they're hitting. Firing on all cylinders. Very, very hungry team. And Harry, I don't have to assume that you're going to probably pick the Bombers in that one as well, my friend.
It's a very tough game to pick, so I'm not going to say anything right at this point.
Fair enough. Very, very liberal of you.
Very professional.
But
I don't want to jinx it.
looking forward to that game to see who's going to come out on top. And
I like this button.
early test for both teams. Thank you, Harry, for joining us.
It could be a preview of the championship this year.
Could be a championship preview.
Could be. Kind of early, but could be.
Definitely kind of early. The Bockers are in third at this point, so
Yeah.
it's very early.
Yeah.
The Goons have not even begun to make their charge yet. You know, we haven't
If you told me
gelled yet. You know.
if you told me this far into the season we were in 4th place, I'd be okay with that.
It's a
You
good
know,
spot to
we're
be.
right in the thick of it.
I would also tell you to go to hell, but
And the Bockers, the Bockers can't be made with their start either. You know,
Nope.
so all in all,
but a lot of surprises with the Sharks and the Bush Leaguers. That's
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I don't know what's going on.
for the record, I'm all for it.
I'm
But,
all for I think the league is so much more competitive this year.
Absolutely.
Every game I feel like is fun to watch. You know, there's not that many.
guys have
blowouts.
anything to say
I
to
know
that?
Terrence definitely has something to say about this.
I agree that it is more competitive. I think overall it is not as good as it has been in the previous years.
Like the teams aren't as good.
That's correct.
Fucking
Talent-wise,
Okay.
talent-wise, the pool is not as deep.
Can you elaborate on that? Please.
Certainly. With the loss of the Yikes, while they, as a team, weren't as competitive, had a lot of good players still. Had
Okay.
one of the best first basemen. What was that guy's name? Josh.
Josh.
He's
really
in
good
Atlanta.
first baseman.
Yeah.
Timmy Henry not playing anymore.
Yep.
It's on my roster, but we'll
top
see if
notch
he shows up.
left center fielder. Yeah, I know Mike has only been to one
How
game
many
for you
fucking people you have
guys.
on your roster?
25.
That's the
Fucking
max.
liar.
That is the max number. Nice.
You want to see it?
No, I don't want to
Alex
see it.
has it.
But again, because of now there's greater disparity and the talent is spread out a little bit more. It is more competitive, but the talent pool is less
Okay.
competitive.
It's a fair argument.
Fair enough. He did go to Columbia.
He did go. Yeah, he is a doctor. So, you know.
Junior, anything to say on that subject aside from what Terrence had to say?
I agree, I guess. I think it is more competitive, the league. I think it's better this way. I think that 4 teams being above 500 I think that's a good spot. I think that's good. That we knew who the Bombers were going to be. We knew who the Corp were going to be. Sharks were the biggest surprise. I think we're the biggest surprise also.
Yeah, you're a
So,
pretty big surprise.
Yeah, so...
I still think
I
the
mean-
Sharks are going to turn it around, though. It's still early.
Yeah, nothing has changed with them. They're still the same exact team. They still have Craig.
Because we did say earlier, like, the top 3, that's a foregone conclusion. So we'll see if we're wrong or not. We've been wrong before. We'll be wrong again. Who did we say we like tonight? Bombers and the Bockers?
I feel like, yeah, that's the consensus.
Okay. Well, go get them, boys. Not you, Terrence. You rest that old groin of yours.
I'm here if needed.
If you need it cupped, then, cup it.
Do it yourself.
I'll bring some cards.
But it's been another lovely Wednesday. Had some Jamesons, 2-for-1 burgers, delicious.
Oh no!
We
We need to end.
we had some ice cream from the Shack, little chocolate mint moose tracks. Some people were insulted by their ice cream and the fact that it was effeminate because it was strawberry. And maybe we could touch on that for a second. Like, what do you consider a girly ice cream flavor aside from strawberry?
The answer is strawberry.
No.
That's the
Sherbet.
sherbet is girly.
I think
Not
sherbet.
really ice cream.
Sherbet's a different type of cream, though, so that's
Well, you said black cherry, which I guess I understand.
It's like an old people ice
Well,
cream, more
black
than
cherry sounds
more
like
than
a
girly.
stripper.
Like, yeah, the old people ice creams would be coffee, black cherry, pistachio,
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan.
butter pecan with wet walnuts. What fucking kid walks up and gets wet walnuts? I used to hate scooping those things out of the jar at the Sugar Shack.
I hate hearing about
Could
it.
I get wet walnuts? And my fucking dad would always get wet walnuts. So thanks, Dad. Anyway, this has been Wednesdays for the men because Sundays are a little too rowdy.
Yeah.
No, Sundays are for the men. But I want to thank Zack from the Phlegm for coming on. Big
Thanks
win
for
on
having
the
me.
net. Trying to keep the ball rolling tonight against the Bockers, 2 of our guests, Junior and Terrence, who stopped by today and had dinner with us. Thanks, boys.
Yep, glad to be here.
Glad to be here as well. Great debut.
You're welcome back anytime. I want to thank Anthony Alaco and Billy Trotter, as always, for being here.
Fuck you.
Thanks.
You're both very welcome. And this has been Sundays for the Men podcast. full week. Game of the week on Friday. Court Bombers, be there, 9:30. Possible that both teams are still undefeated. All depends on what the Bombers do tonight against the Bush Leaguers, who are in desperate need of a win. So we want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you after the weekend, or maybe on Sunday. We'll try Sunday again. Who the hell knows?
I think we should try Sunday again.
We might try it again. I'm not working. You're not working. We can try it again.
You're not working?
No.
Richie's
There's only
working?
3 games, though, so maybe we
Okay,
can start
that's
a little
good.
earlier.
So
I think we should definitely try it again, but
Is that confirmed?
limit some people's
yeah, I
exposure.
confirmed it.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully we'll see you Sunday, and we could talk about the big games on Friday and whatever happens on Sunday. We love you all. Thanks for listening. Keep listening. And as always, the way it goes is...
Fupa-man! Fupa-man!
And thank you, Harry.
Fupa-man! Fupa-man!
Even though you're a bitch.
Fupa-man! Fupa-man!
Fight me after your game.
Fupa-man! Fupa-man!
And I'll smack Harry around.